Hello, we are live and we are starting. Welcome to our webinar session and thank you all for joining us from all over the world. Today we are presenting the new FOTA which can help make your business more efficient. My name is Alexandras, I am Operational Marketing Project Manager. Also with us are Ignas, FOTA Solution Product Owner, and Donatas, Project Coordinator. They will show live demo and help us answer the technical questions during the Q&A session. We encourage you actively engaged and take a moment to ask your relevant questions in the Q&A tab below on the bottom of your screen. If you have advice on how we can improve our solution, write it in the Q&A tab as well. Also, please be advised the session is being recorded and the replay version will be available on Teltonika Telematics YouTube channel a few days later. So let's get started. In today's session, we will talk about why FOTA usage is important in the telematic field. Then we are going to discuss the main functionalities and benefits of FOTA usage. We will tell you what has changed in the new FOTA. Also, we will talk about integration benefits. Ignas will make a new FOTA demonstration in real time, where you will see how easy it is to manage Teltonika GPS trackers. And finally, our team will answer your relevant questions in live Q&A session. So if you got one, you are welcome to submit it anytime you are ready. The session will take around 45 minutes, so please make you comfortable, turn off all distractions and enjoy the content. Not only hardware is important for customers, but also software, which helps to effectively manage fleets. So today we will talk about our new FOTA. FOTA Web is a cloud-based tool for device management which allows you to remotely change tracker configuration and update firmware. Our hardware and software quality allows our customers to trust Teltonika and choose our solutions. Please consider this. In case of no FOTA scenario, it takes around 15 hours in average to set up 100 GPS trackers. In contrast with FOTA scenario, it takes only 15 minutes to set up 100 trackers, 1,000 trackers, or 10,000 trackers, or whatever quantity do you need. Second sample is when one client integrates 500 trackers per day. It took from 5 to 10 minutes to prepare the product for the technician, get it connected, power it, insert the SIM card, configure, and etc. These are from 42 to 84 working hours, which cost a need of from 5 to 10 employees a day. The FOTA Web with Auto APN solution allows you to set up APN automatically and then download the required configuration as well as firmware from FOTA Web. Technician said it takes him 15 seconds to prepare the product to insert the SIM card only. Simple math, it used to work for 8 employees, now it employs 2 people. Saves the salary used to pay for additional 6 employees. Now those people do other jobs and create more added value for their company. And now let's talk about key features and benefits of new FOTA. Constant trackers functions, update and bug fixes make a firmware update an important feature. This ensures stable operation of the device. Manufacturers who do not provide the possibility to execute an update over the air complicate work for their clients. Not every client can go directly to the vehicle and connect to the tracker via cable, so trackers are used with bugs and without new features. Remote configuration update allows configuring tracker conveniently and precisely. This solution helps make changes to the tracker's configuration fast and easily, because you don't need to make a physical connection to the tracker via cable or send commands via SMS. You also can download a current device configuration to make changes or check what exactly is configured on the device. When the tracker is not working correctly, a log file can be downloaded remotely and it will help solve an issue faster. Also, FOTA allows Telematics device to support AGPS, a system that often significantly improves the startup performance, time to first fix, of a GPS satellite-based position system. After evaluating all listed functionalities, we create a lot of added value for our customers. Only a few tracker manufacturers can propose that. Let's find out what's new in FOTA. We made user interface cleaner. The new version of FOTA is easy to use, so our existing clients will work with ease, and our new clients will appreciate how simple it is to start using our solution. The security of our clients' trackers and information is crucial. So we have improved the structure of the new FOTA web database, which helps to ensure better safety. We are constantly working to increase security, and we look forward to updating the data protocol this year. We improved user experience by adding infinity-length company tree and simplified user authorization model using company parent-child relationships, so no more multiple company and user types. Also, we added smart groups, which help to differentiate trackers according to the vehicle types, so you can sort trackers by vehicle type and then upgrade the configuration or firmware for everyone. Also, we updated process using task concept. Each task is separate, trackable, loggable entity with its own parameters and results. More on that we will talk during live demo. We reworked architecture using latest tech stack. It improved overall system performance and monitoring capabilities. Also, we revamped previous API and implemented standard open API and easy integration using API tokens. This upgrade is relevant for the clients that want to provide the possibility for their customers to upgrade their trackers, firmware, and configuration directly from the system without connecting to new FOTA separately. Also, we have Auto APN feature. FM trackers out of the box are ready to use. You just need to insert a SIM card, power up the device, and then tracker will automatically connect to the FOTA server for configuration. You do not need to set up the device manually. Auto APN functionality in tracking devices performs automatic APN search and configures APN depending on the SIM card inserted into it. After the APN is automatically set in the configuration, the tracking device will connect to FOTA and perform actions set there. For example, a firmware update or a full configuration update. You don't have to configure the device manually, and almost all Teltonika Telematics devices come ready to use out of the box. Now my colleague Ignas will demonstrate you how to use the new FOTA solution and how easy it is to change trackers firmware and configuration. Ignas, please take it over and share your screen.
Okay, so hello everyone. First of all, thank you, Alexandras, for organizing this beautiful event. And unfortunately, this time remotely, online, not in person. But I hope that we will get a chance to meet each other in the near future. Also, thank you, Alexandras, for a nice introduction to FOTA. And I'm really excited to be here and present what we have created since the last upgrade. So we will take a look at the new FOTA interface and review what's going on over there. And if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, maybe you can always write in the Q&A section of this Zoom, and we will try to cover it in the Q&A session. So first of all, everything starts from login, right? So in order to get the access to the system, it's just the one simple rule: you have to be invited. And you can get this invitation from, I mean, if your company already has the access to it, and you just have a new employee, you can invite this employee to the system, and he will be in the same company maybe, or in the company below in the hierarchy. If you don't have access to FOTA and you are the new customer of Teltonika, then it makes sense to talk to our support or your local sales manager, and the account will be arranged for you. So this time I will use my own personal kind of demo account in the test environment, and we will see what's going on here. So that's the main page you will see after login, and we will try to cover this view in a section. So first of all, I want to talk about the navigation bar, this nav bar at the top, and what's going on over here. So there's nothing really new or new objects in the system. We still have devices, we have groups for the grouping of the devices, we have files, companies, and users where we can manage these objects. The only new thing that we have is tasks. So we will talk about tasks a little bit later, but this is the only one new thing, and the rest is probably something you are already familiar with. We will cover each of those pages soon. On the right side, in the corner, we have two new icons. One is for notifications. So if anything happens in the system, we have this notification sort of system that we can notify the user that something happened, some tasks were generated or files were exported, and so on. And in the future, probably we will use this more and more for different notifications. If something happens, if we see some inconsistencies in the system, maybe then we can notify you right here. And the next bit is settings tab. Here you can see who you are, in which company your user is, and also you can change the language. Recently we added Portuguese for the public demand, and so I hope if we will see more demand, we can add more languages. But for now we have everything we had previously: English, Lithuanian, Russian, Spanish, and now we have Portuguese. Also, we can change the password, something that we had previously. One nice feature is the time zone settings. Here we can change the time zone that we are working in, and all dates and times will be recalculated and shown in the local time. Previously, we had a little bit uncomfortable situation where all the times were in UTC time. So if our customers are somewhere far away, Australia, States, or somewhere, then the time differences would be big, and sometimes it's quite difficult to understand when something happened or when something was created or performed. So now you can change it right here. Another new function, actually a small tab here, but it hides a lot of work in the background. We have completely revamped API. So it changed from sort of custom API. Now it's a global standard RESTful API, and it's very easy to integrate even for unexperienced users or developers, I should say. But in order to use this API, you need to have some sort of authorization. So for authorization, we're using API tokens. And if I am creating some system and I want to control resources in FOTA API, in FOTA system, then I have to get the ticket. So token, I'm sorry. So I can just say I need a token for test application, and the token will be generated for me. It will be only seen a single time, so we have to copy it and use it, because even us, we are not storing this token in our system for security reasons. We just have a hash of it. So you will see that this test application token was created at some point, and if it was ever used or not. So if you have a lot of tokens generated, you can see which one are you really using, and then maybe you want to delete it if you don't need it anymore. So that's about the navigation bar, and let's move down a little bit. So you can go to Devices tab, Devices page, and here we have first of all we have Device Dashboard and Search and Filters. So let's talk about filtering and status. Well, not the status, but statistics of it. So previously, in previous version, we had a different approach on this, where you could see how many, let's say, models you have and how many of each model you have in your control devices scope. And then you can click on it maybe, and then it will filter somehow. But this implementation was somewhat convoluted, and it could not really represent what you really have in a system. And if you filter model, then you cannot filter firmwares and so on. So we decided to split it separately, and filtering is here, and this dashboard only does the representation of what you have filtered. So if you want to filter some, let's say, model, I only have a single model right here, next one is unknown, then you can filter from here, and you will get those models, and you will see the statistics for this filtered scope. You can have multiple filters, multiple, how do you say, values in filters. You can clear all those as well. search, well, I guess it's quite self-explanatory. You can search by email, by description, by serial number, if you like, and so on. Another thing that I would like to talk about is column control. So you can control how many columns you want to see. If you just want to see email and maybe firmware, or when it was seen, you can reduce it to the amount of your convenience, and you will see only those fields right here. Also, you can do sorting if you need. There's some basic features. Also, we have pagination. Unfortunately, I only have 2 devices right here, so pagination is not necessary in this case. As soon as you select one of the devices, you get more detailed information about each of the device on the right side. Some sort of, we call it device details. So here you can see the changes for the particular device. I can select this one, right? And I can see that company was changed for this device, so it moved from one company to another one. Also, configuration was changed. Somewhere probably back in time, firmware was updated as well. Also, I can see that this device belongs to company Ignal Company, also Group A, device Group A. So I can, if I have a lot of devices right here, I can filter by just clicking right here. And later we will look at this one about device tasks. Also, probably the most important bit is creating task. So we have a concept of tasks that we didn't have before. Previously, we would just set some firmware or configuration for the device, and that was it. If someone changes that, we don't have really tracking of how many tasks were scheduled and who did it. But right now, we just separated by tasks, and we can see all those tasks in the task page. So we will get back here shortly. I just want to show you how easy it is to create a task right now, especially for large amounts of devices. We can select a device of our interest, for example, or we can use, let's say, a filter. Maybe, okay, let's say devices with not assigned configuration, right? So then we go obviously to create a task tab, and here we have 3 options. We call it 3 source. So we can select one of 3 sources for the action, and this is something that works for many objects, also files and users and companies maybe. So either we can perform an action by using selected objects. If I just select it right here, for example, this would be one selected object or maybe more. Also, I can choose filtered option. So I would see that it was a filter of configuration that I used, and I chose not assigned option. So I want to see all the devices that have not assigned configuration. And in my case, I only have 1. Also, I can use a third option, and I can upload CSV file with emails. So if I have some other system maybe, or I have, I don't know, some other list that I want to use for controlling my devices or generating tasks like configuration update or firmware update, I can use this CSV file with emails and upload it right here. So it might be even, I mean, a lot of different emails. We will check it if you can control it, and we will generate tasks for these emails. So when we select the source of an action, then we see how many devices it will affect, except the filter from file option, because we still don't know how many files are there and how many of those you can control. And then we can pick a task type. So let's say update configuration, and then I can pick the configuration. I only have 1 in this case, that's configuration, of course. And I can create a task. Of course, I will get a notification that full task job was created, and task will be generated shortly. Later, when it's done, I will get notification right here that task propagation job succeeded. And if I go to tasks page, I get tasks that were generated for this particular device. If I want to access it later, then I can go through here. I don't remember which one was that, but let me see. I guess that's the one. I can go to the device tasks and I will see tasks scheduled for this particular device. Also, using the same logic, I can move devices. If I want to move some particular device, I can select this. I can then use the selected option for the action source. And then I can move this device to some, let's say, child company, maybe also add to the group of this company if I want to. And I can move it just like that. So it was always easy to do it with a single device probably, but now it's much easier if you control hundreds or thousands of devices. I hope you will like this feature as well. Also exporting. Export is now also somewhat different. Previously you had to, of course, select devices that you want to export, and then you can do the export, and then you wait for the file to be spitted to the browser. But if you're controlling a lot of devices, let's say tens of thousands of the devices, then this system was not good enough, because it would not generate, in some cases, it would not generate thousands of devices, it would just time out. So we went different way, and now we can schedule device export sort of a job. Let's say I selected 2 devices, right? So to the CSV format, and I say export. And I get notification that the file will be created shortly. So you don't have to wait for the file to be generated. But just as soon as you get notification, you can go to Files section, and you will see a device export file with those devices that you selected. Also, what you have in this CSV file will depend on what columns you have selected. So in my case, my CSV file would contain email, firmware, configuration, and SYN_AT parameter, which tells me when this device was seen in FOTA system. So when it has connected to the system. If I want more fields, let's say I want to see company and group, I just have to add it here. And this also will affect what columns are exported in here. I guess that's the most about devices. If you have any more questions, we will get back to it, no problem. Okay, another thing that I just remember, tasks. Previously, we only had tasks for the device. And these tasks were not very accurate, because if you complete some action with the device in the previous system, you would get status of the device completed, and that was it. So it wasn't really informative on how this device is performing. So now we have split this logic to 2 places. So we have status of the device and we have status of the task. So status of the device would normally indicate idle, that device is connecting frequently to the system and doesn't have any pending tasks, for example. If we don't see this device connecting to the FOTA, after 45 days, we will mark it as inactive. 45 days is a maximum configurable interval in the configuration for the device to connect to FOTA. And if we don't see device for 45 days, we consider it to be inactive. It means either it is in the environment where it doesn't have access to the public internet, or it's maybe broken. And we want to show you more of this. So we want to show you that device is inactive, and maybe you could, perform some actions or just investigate why it's not connecting to FOTA. Maybe it's not expected behavior. So because we believe that most of devices are connecting or should connect to FOTA system, so the status could be monitored from here. Let's get to tasks. So if we have tasks, and we also can filter those tasks here also by status. So status can be per task. So task can be pending, like this one. It means that we are waiting for the device to connect so we could update it. It can be running. So it means that at this very moment, the device is connected to the system, and it is performing some action, maybe downloading or uploading configuration or firmware. Also, it can be completed. So task was successfully completed. It can be completed with errors. If it means that the biggest part of the task was executed, but maybe something unexpected happened. Let's say we are downloading 10 log files from the device, and the device only had like 6 or 5 or maybe 9 log files. So it was completed, but it has an error because it was not completed fully. Also, it can be canceled because user can cancel the task like this, one by one, or also we can use cancel tasks from here, and also we can cancel either selected or filtered tasks, or if we have emails, we can cancel from here. And now you see status name is canceled. Now everything you see in the page, like status or is updating automatically. You don't need to reload the page. If we are looking at the tasks, for example, edit, and the device starts to execute it, or it completes or it fails, then we can see it right away. You don't have to reload the page every few seconds as you had previously. So now we have WebSockets technology in action, and we will update this information real time. Now groups. Oh, also tasks, I'm sorry. So we have more information about the task on the right side. So I only have one single task right here, but you can see the information about this task on the right side. So you can see, in this case, it was a firmware update task. And you can see to which firmware it was trying to update, what is a task ID. Task ID is really important for support and for developers of the system. So if something fails and you cannot perform some updates, let's say, if you tell this task ID, it will be much easier for us to find which task is actually failing. Of course, email is usually is enough to identify the problem, but if we're talking about some specific task, it would be much easier to find the issue by knowing the task ID. And of course, we have status name and to which company this task belongs and when it was created and updated. So usually created date is when it was created and updated when it was either completed or it failed. So you can get more ideas of what's going on with your task by looking here. Also, for some specific tasks, you have additional information here in the messaging and some additional attributes. Okay, I guess now that's it with the tasks. Let's go to groups. So groups is something that we all knew for a long time. So nothing really new with it, except one thing that we introduced or made it a little bit smarter than it was before. So now we can assign firmware or configuration to this group, to each group actually. So if we have, let's say, 1,000 devices in group A, we can assign firmware and configuration for this particular group, and immediately there will be tasks generated for each device to update firmware and configuration. If later we will add more devices to group A that has firmware and configuration assigned, automatically tasks will be generated to this device as well. So this actually eases the workflow with the groups of devices. You don't have to go through each device or filter it from devices and then create the tasks. You can just create groups that should maintain some particular configuration or firmware. Groups are actually some sort of lighter or easier way to manage groups of devices, but from here I want to jump directly to companies, because companies previously was some sort of a really strict logic about the companies, and we have a limited company hierarchy that we could have only like 4 or 3 companies with a parent-child relationship. But now it's not the case anymore, and each our customer can create as many companies as they want, and it can go as deep as they like. So it can go to up, I don't know, 20 sub companies and so on. So each company can have own devices, own resources, and own users. So if you just want to limit the scope of your partners or even your employees, if you have support department, but each support department is working with the different devices, different groups of devices, and you don't want to allow them to see or control groups of devices, then you can create just a sub company and name it whatever you like, and move those users to some particular company. So users of company child A will not be able to see devices or files or groups of company child B. So this is this actually gives you a lot of freedom on managing your fleets or your devices, or just allowing you to have as many I don't know, customers of yours. Also, you have some small information window here that gives you a really brief information about what's going on in those companies. If I select a company, Igno Company, I see that there's one device in this company. It has 2 groups, it has 3 files, and it has 1 user, and no pending tasks right here. In the company tree, it looks like this. So that's the root company. It's on the top of everything, and then we have Teltonika, and Igno Company is in Teltonika. Is a child of Teltonika company. If I had a partner, or actually I see the company B, for example. So child B is a child of my Igno Company. So if my user is in Igno Company, I can control all resources of this company and also of this company. But if the user is only in this company, it cannot control anything up the ladder. I hope that's sufficient explanation. Also, we have a new feature that allows us to merge companies, something that we didn't have before. I can select the source company, let's see, child AA or child A, and then I can merge these together. So all resources from the source company will be moved to target company, and child company will be deleted. So in case you have just a few companies, too many, let's say, you can merge them together, and it will not take moving by hand all the users or devices or files. You can do it by just single click. If you want to create a sub company, you can create by clicking create. You show to which under the which company this company should be created, and you can give a new name, and that's it. You will get a new company. Maybe even with the own users. But for now, as you see, it is empty. Okay, let's get back to files. There's also nothing really new. We have a search, we have a very basic filter for files, we have a company, and we have a file type. The only new thing in files section is that from now on, you will see public global firmwares that we released right in this list. So it's not going to be like your personal file, but that you can control or delete. But every time our R&D department will release a new firmware that is a base firmware that could be used by anyone, it will be visible right here. So every time we have a latest firmware, you will get it from here. It doesn't take you to ask for it or go to FTP servers or check your emails if we have a newer version and so on. So you will see it right away here. And if you like, you can automatically, well, not automatically, but if you like, if you see a newer firmware, you can go to the devices section and you can schedule update to this device. Maybe in some future, we will make some features to automate that process or notify you that you have a newer firmware for some particular device. For example, I think it would make sense to show that maybe this firmware is not the latest and greatest, and just show you a small indication that you can update to the something newer. Other than that, you will see all your files right here. You will see size, to which company does it belong, and most of them you can download it from here. Also, you can control columns for all, actually for all tables right here. Okay, so also you can delete it, by the way. Yeah, that's an important feature. You can select as much as you like and you can delete. Also, you can use selected or you can use filtered function as a source, and you can delete it from here. And the last but not least is the users page. So here you can see all the users that you can control. I mean, if I am in the company, Igno Compania, then I can see all the users that are in my company and all the users that are in the companies down the ladder on the parent-child relationship tree. So I can see who invited it, I can see in which company it is and what email it is. Also, I can invite users from here. I can type a new email, let's say like this, and I can choose to which company I would like to invite this user. And as soon as I invite it, there's this, I will show you one unreleased feature yet. So I can see send invitations right here. So it's not yet in the production environment. It will be there in the, probably in a couple of days. So you will see all the sent invitations, and we will make a sort of control of invitations in here in this model. So you could cancel those invitations maybe if you like. Invitations will also expire in a couple of days. If I am not wrong, I think it will last 7 days. And after that, it will expire. We had to do this because we saw a lot of invitations that are hanging from years and years. And sometimes the user that you invited are no longer a part of your company or no longer is your partner. But at any point they can submit the invitation and come back to your company and see all your resources. So that would not be right, I guess. What else I forgot? Okay, global framework. So also invitations, as I said, you can invite users right here in the companies that belongs to you. And if you want someone to come to the company that are not in your scope of visibility, not in your companies, then you definitely should talk to our support department. I think Alexandras later will explain you how to obtain logins or get the invitation to the system. For now, I think that's it from me. Thank you for watching this, and I will get back to you on the Q&A session. I already see a couple of questions over there, and I think we will manage to cover at least some of them. So thank you, everyone, and see you later.
Thank you, Ignas, for interesting presentation. And now let's continue. After this presentation, we hope you are interested in FOTA and choose. And those who don't use it will start using this solution in their work. How to start using new FOTA? It's very easy. Contact us via email info@teltonika.lt or contact your regional sales manager for more information. For technical questions or assistance, please contact Teltonika VIP Help Desk service. FOTA Web is a secure cloud-based tool for device management which allows you to remotely update tracker firmware and change configuration. Easy API integration helps our customers provide the possibility for their clients to upgrade their tracker's firmware and configuration directly from the system without connecting to the new FOTA separately. Auto APN functionality in tracking devices performs automatic search and setup APN depending on the SIM card inserted into it. You just need to insert a SIM card, power up the device, and the tracker will automatically connect to the FOTA server for configuration. You don't need to configure the device manually. If it's not done yet, please follow Teltonika Telematics on social media platforms like LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and others to stay up to date. And to get even more value, please register to the upcoming webinar. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our session. We hope you enjoyed, found this webinar relevant and helpful for your business. If you still have questions, please write them down below in the Q&A tab and we will answer them directly to your email account. As I have mentioned before, the recorded webinar version will be uploaded to our YouTube channel later on. Thank you very much for following us along, your time and all your questions today. Meanwhile, you take care of your business, stay safe, and goodbye for now.